welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your reading for March the 23rd through March the 29th. Excuse me for coughing and spluttering during this time. I've been under the weather and hence these readings are late. I pushed through because I really wanted to get them out. I had that urge, that new moon in Aries tomorrow urge to spring into action in spite of how I feel. So without further ado, let's go to your cards. Hold on. Okay, the first card out for you guys is the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is, look, this is really about taking on too much responsibility. And when the 10 of Wands comes in, it's saying all that responsibility is holding you back from where you really need to go. Look, he's got to get to that castle and he's got all these wands on his back. He's laden down with responsibilities. Now this can be a form of control, like you want to do everything because nobody can do anything as good as you, and so you have to do everything. This card can either tell you to delegate or to just drop some of those responsibilities. Ask for help even. It's interesting because look what's clarifying it. What's clarifying the 10 of Wands. And by the way, 10s are endings and beginnings. So a lot of us are dropping our baggage right now, right? So clarifying the 10 of Wands is the 7 of Pentacles, right? And I love this because look, he's got one pentacle right here between his feet and all the rest are on there. And this is about assessment. And so this is assessing what's working for you and what isn't. How much effort have you put into something and what's the return? Is all this stuff that you've taken on holding you back? This is really assessing the situation. It's about doing the bookkeeping. Perhaps you can keep some of the stuff that you've done and reinvest. But this to me is about letting go of and doing things differently, like letting go of a lot of the ways you've done things before because that's held you back, and you have to kind of reassess and do things in a new way. And guys, this is your new moon. This is your opportunity to spring forward and do things differently. And listen, I want to say happy birthday to you, Aries. Happy birthday, darling. Happy birthday to Joey. He is a patron, he's a supporter, he's lovely. Thank you, Joey. Happy birthday to you, Joey Lamar. I really appreciate you. Happy birthday to Barbara Love. Happy birthday to Ed Garcia Conde. And who else? I know there's loads of others that I will be in trouble for not remembering, but happy birthday to you all. No, my mind's not quite there because I'm a little under the weather, as you know, I mentioned before. So please forgive me if I didn't mention your name, but I love all of you, Aries. I do. Okay, so the next card out is the 2 of Wands. And look, the 2 of Wands, this one, the Wands are what do I want to say, fertile. They've sprouted, so things are looking very positive, and he's holding the world in the palm of his hand. This is saying that you have choices here. and the world is in the palm of your hand, and you can do whatever. Sometimes this is about taking a journey, right? It's about traveling. It's about broadening your horizons. This new moon is about broadening your horizons. What can you do differently? Perhaps you're already exploring that, right? But this is like you have a choice. There's a choice on the table. How are you going to go forward? I don't feel that there's a wrong choice per se. Each choice will bring you rewards in some way, learning experience, or you could reap, what I don't believe that there are wrong choices here, guys. Clarifying it though is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is basically exhaustion. Look, he's kind of in his tomb, with three swords hanging over him. This is the aftermath of the Three of Swords, exhaustion. You have to, when this card comes in, it's saying you've got to rest. I mean, do the basic things. Excuse me. Like rest and, get enough. I'm sorry. Rest, get enough hydration, proper food, but most of all, sleep, because you cannot make an informed decision if you don't sleep. So you really need to sleep here. I mean, it's a very simple message of sleeping. Excuse me, I have to drink my hot tea in between because it's warming my throat. It's good to do that. So excuse that. Now, the next card is you'll be able to make this decision easily coming from a rested position. So sometimes you need a little respite. So this is probably, this quarantine situation is is really good for you. For a lot of people, actually, it's like slowing down. Look what it's doing to the environment. It's really rejuvenating the environment. It's very exciting. So in the next, position, you have two cards. You have the moon, and right next to the moon, you have the Page of Wands. The moon is emotions, right? The moon also brings a truth out. And it's interesting that Pluto is in this lovely harmonious relationship to the new moon as well. So we have this opportunity to look at the truth, to ask questions of ourselves. So when the moon comes in, it is saying a truth, something from the unconscious will be brought into the conscious. And this is a time to look at it. It's a time to look at our shadow sides. How can our shadow sides benefit us? Where can we find, empowerment in it? Because, we do, look, we need our shadow side. I constantly say that. Those of you who've heard me before, we know we need our shadow side. But I always think that there's a balance. So there's something that you need to take a look at. And perhaps all of us right now, we need to take a look at. And look, with the Page of Wands right next to this, there's an opportunity here. Because the Page of Wands is like passion. It's an opportunity to move on to the next phase of your life. And this is an opportunity for you to really look inside. See, ask yourself, what can you do differently? How can you change? How can you transform? I believe that this is a very transformative energy. And we do have opportunities to rise above, guys, during this very difficult and tumultuous time. And remember that there are waves of fear, right? Stay tuned for the astrological report about this new moon in Aries right after this. It'll give you more clarity. And look, clarifying the moon and the Page of Wands is the Temperance card. And the Temperance card, excuse me, is about balance. It's about balancing, look, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on ground. It's about being guided spiritually. And the mantra for this card, guys, is everything in moderation. So a lot of people are like having these parties, and that's wonderful. It's great to kind of get together socially online and have fun. Some people are overdoing it a bit. So you need to kind of pull back a little bit, because yes, initially I think everybody kind of, is drinking a lot and kind of like partying, but I think there's a time that you can have balance. Yes, I'm not saying don't have fun and enjoy yourself, but when this becomes a daily habit, it becomes, you can become fear-based, because they're not authentic highs and lows. These are highs and lows that that are artificial. And so they're very high, they push you very, very high, and they bring you very, very low. So you can get, just remember, this should be a mantra for this week, Aries. Everything in moderation. That goes for all the good, excuse me, as well as the bad. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, if you would like a personal reading, click on the link, which is probably around here somewhere. Oh dear. Sorry, that was I thought I turned everything off on my computer, and obviously not. Some calls are still coming through. But anyway, click on this link here, and that will take you to my website, and you can see what kind of readings I offer. It's either here or here, one or the other. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week or the week after. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in and staying for the astrological report. And I am doing this in spite of how I feel. I've been under the weather for the last couple of days, and I'm just excuse me. I wanted to get this out because I thought it was important, and so I'm forcing myself through this. I was feeling much worse yesterday. I'm feeling a little better today, so I apologize for the coughing and spluttering beforehand. Okay. Now, I want to talk about the new moon in Aries at 4 degrees. Now, most of you know that new moons are when the sun and the moon are conjunct. They're together, right? They are together in Aries at 4 degrees. Now, right next to them is Chiron, the wounded healer, at 5 degrees of Aries. Chiron's been moving through Aries. So they've been going through a lot of healing, right? Now, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac calendar, right? It's spring. It's springing into action. It's a cardinal sign. This is about new beginnings, right? Oh, I'm sorry. My thing's off. Let me see if I can mute that. Let me see if I can mute it. I don't know if I can mute it on my computer. Anyway, I'm sorry if texts come through. I apologize in advance. Okay, so now on the 24th, the new moon is happening. That's Tuesday, the 24th of March. Now, at the same time as this new moon in Aries, there's a triple conjunction. There are 3 planets together in this harmonious relationship to the new moon. So it is amplifying the power of this new moon. Now, this is a wonderful opportunity to spring into action. Now, having said that, a lot of people may feel a little frustrated during this new moon because they are restricted because of this global pandemic, right? So, but I've seen people do some incredibly creative things. They're creating workouts at home, they're creating memes. I even tried one. I mean, there's loads of things that you can do. I've got friends that are like so happy that they've got this excuse to stay home and do all this stuff. And yeah, we may get bored later, but if we stay in creativity and taking care of ourselves, we'll probably do okay. I mean, there's social meetings, social parties, on social distancing parties. People are, getting together via video and having parties. It's interesting. So I say all that to say that this new moon is hope, right? It's springing into action. Now, the triple conjunction is happening in Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign as well. So we will have that very strong urge to get up and do things. And that's how I'm feeling right now, is that urge. I have to do these readings. I can't not do them, even though I had no energy at all yesterday. But I'm feeling that energy shift, right? Even though I'm under the weather, I'm still feeling that. So I had to, I was compelled to do these readings. So this triple conjunction is with Jupiter, Pluto and Mars, which is the ruler of Aries, right? More power. Mars is, he's the warrior. He's the soldier. He plows through things. He's about moving mountains. He's about breaking down barriers. He forges forward forcefully, right? And then you have, so he is at 25 degrees. Then at 24 degrees, you have Pluto. Pluto is about power, right? He's right behind Mars, right? He's directly behind Mars and directly in front of Jupiter. So he is about, Pluto's about power. It's about dominance. It's about empowerment too. It's about obsession. So we need to ask ourselves, where do we have power? Where have we lost our power? What can we change, right? How can we change? And also Mars, what action can we take? And Jupiter is at 23 degrees, is it? Jupiter's 23 degrees. And Jupiter's the mindset, right? Jupiter's faith, it's belief, having faith that everything's going to turn out okay, but also Jupiter's expansion. Whatever is going on, Jupiter will expand. So make sure that don't look at mainstream media. Everyone I know, all my friends that are looking at it are depressed, right? And also, listen, I videotaped a guided meditation last week, specifically for this crisis that we're going through. I was directed to do that. So I'll leave a link to the end of this. Bring that. Is this for those of you who don't have a meditation practice? Try it out. It's a simple guided meditation. Just try it out. It will ground you. Keep doing it. It'll make you feel. I mean, you don't have to do mine. There's thousands out there in YouTube that are free. Excuse me. I'm going to apologize in advance for any coughing or spluttering that I do. So, so we, at the moment we're going through these waves of fear, right? And an anxiety. And if we go down the rabbit hole, right, Jupiter will expand that. It'll expand that fear, but we don't have to do that. And this new moon is an opportunity for us to see things optimistically. And there's some hope in this new moon. Right? Hope springs eternal. It's springing into action. There's, it's about seeing things in a positive light. What can you do? How can you empower yourself? Ask that question. We've got time now, guys. We've got time to change our mindset. So focus on, watch things that are empowering, that are positive. We will get these waves of fear, right? And yes, it's not, I've got some friends who just are looking on this as a holiday and they're just drowning their sorrows. They're drinking a lot. Some people are doing other self-medicating things, right? I say meditate don't self-medicate, because the self-medicating has got these, they're these false highs, right? They're not natural, they're forced highs, right? And then they come crashing down, because that's what happens. Alcohol will make you depressed. At the time you're drinking, it's everyone's happy, and then they have this crash, and then they get depressed and they're crying, and that's what alcohol and other mood and mind altering substance do for you. I'm not saying don't do it. I would never say that. But be mindful of those highs and lows, and know that they're not authentic. They're not. It's not. It's not a natural thing, right? We kind of want to have this lapping. It's okay. Look, fear is inevitable, but wallowing in it and drowning in it is an option, right? So we want to keep our waves lapping. Think of a little lapping wave, up and down. We can't, life is like that. It's ups and downs. There are, we will have moments of fear. It's a natural thing. Fear is innate in us. Fear is forgetting that everything is all right. Forgetting that everything is all right. Yeah, I think that's that's what fear stands for. So anyway, look, this is an opportunity to have a positive stance, to see things optimistically. How can I change? What can I do forward? Ask your question, not what is going to happen. This is the end of the world. Like a lot of people, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm not going to, I'll be home. Have what can I do differently? How can I make this work for me? Even asking that question will change the energy. It's not like it's not like you'll come up with the solution maybe straight away, but that putting that question out will empower you. And it's like, look, it's very British. The English say, keep calm and carry on. That's all we can do, isn't it? So listen, there's an opportunity here. Perhaps you could learn a language. Perhaps you can create something that you can do from home. I mean, this is the new norm, right? Staying inside. What can we create from here? Maybe you're going to be on YouTube. Maybe you'll create a YouTube channel, whatever it is for you. I'm sure a lot of people are working from home, and I know a lot of my friends are from home, and a lot of my friends have lost their jobs, and a lot of you out there have. And, we're in this together. Don't forget that. Things may get rough, right? But we need to remain the calm in the storm. So meditate, guys. If you don't use my meditation, use somebody else's. But this is an opportunity for us to come together. Guys, first of all, I want to thank my patrons. I really want to tell you how much I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting me and hanging in there. And I want to thank my the people who have joined my channel. I really appreciate you members. That really helps me out. And guys, if you need if you need a reading, click on this link here, and that will take you to my website. And, sometimes during these times, we need that. We need that support. We need to see things in a positive light, or at least in a light that is solution oriented, right? Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah! I love you all. And I'll see you either next week or the week after. But hopefully I'll be feeling a little bit better soon. And I want to do the live feed. I plan to do it tonight, but that's not going to happen. So maybe tomorrow. Stay tuned. If I'm feeling better tomorrow, I will definitely do a live feed tomorrow in my Facebook group. So don't forget, join the Facebook group too. Okay, guys. Thank you.